In this video, I'm going to share exactly how I'm planning for an upcoming hysterectomy. If you're undergoing a hysterectomy or other elective surgery, you know there can be lots of appointments, details, things you need to do and things you need to buy. And remember, it can really be overwhelming when you go home from the surgeon's office with a long list of pre and post-op do's and don'ts. Not to mention other things to plan for like meals, maybe someone to walk the dog, or even childcare. I use Google Calendar to organize my entire life, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly how I'm using my calendar to keep track of all the things I need to do before and after surgery. This Google Calendar planning strategy will work for a hysterectomy or knee replacement or other elective surgery. Obviously, this is not me giving medical advice. I'm just sharing how I'm planning for my upcoming surgery and hope you find it helpful too. I don't know about you, but thinking about surgery makes me really anxious. I can't control that, but I do want to control all the things I can in order to feel prepared and as calm as possible. This is Jackie with Plan a Healthy Life. I share videos on time management, organization, and planning, and let's get started. All you need is Google Calendar, any appointment cards, and pre or post-operative instruction sheets you've received from your surgeon or doctor, and a notebook or a place to write down information, questions you might have for your doctor, and to keep lists. Ideally, your notebook is digital so you can access your lists anywhere. You can use the Notes app on your phone, a Google Doc, GoodNotes, or a Word document. I use Evernote to keep my lists because I've used Evernote for over a decade. It's just where I put my entire life. But if you're a pen and paper kind of a person, you can also use a paper notebook and pen. Just have one place designated to brainstorm and write down information. From here on out, I'll just call this paper or digital document your notebook. Step 1 is to create a separate Google Calendar for your surgery. Here's how to create the new surgery calendar. In Google Calendar, open up your sidebar if it's not already by tapping the 3 horizontal lines in the upper left of your screen, then scroll down to Other Calendars and tap the plus button. Now click on Create New Calendar and name your calendar. I'm naming mine Surgery. And then click on the blue Create Calendar button. Go in the upper left where there's the backward facing arrow by settings and click on that and you have created your calendar. Now if you want to change the color, just tap the 3 dots next to the surgery calendar and you'll see various colors displayed. So just tap on any color that suits your fancy. I'm going to make my calendar a cheerful purple color. Now that you have the new calendar created, it's time to add some of those appointments and to-dos. So step 2 is to add your surgery dates and any pre and post-op appointments to both the surgery calendar and your main Google Calendar. I suggest you start by adding appointments. You may have a pre-op appointment, your surgery date, and at least one post-operative appointment. So grab your appointment cards and add the dates to your calendar. First, I'll toggle off all my other calendars so I have an uncluttered view. I'm going to be working in my surgery calendar alone right now. So in the left sidebar, simply check a calendar to toggle it on and uncheck it to toggle it off. To add an appointment, which you probably already know how to do, tap the plus button that appears on the top left of your screen and click on Event. Add the title of your event. Here I'm adding my surgery date. Add the date and time, and you can add the location if desired, and then tap Save. I suggest adding any appointments to both your surgery calendar and your main calendar. This way, if the surgery calendar is toggled off, you still will always see the appointment because it appears on your main calendar as well. Here's how to copy the event to your main calendar. Double-click on the event to select it, and then near the top of your screen to the right of the blue Save button, click on More Actions. Choose Copy To and the name of your main calendar. My main calendar is called Jackie. And then tap on Save. You can now see that I have the appointment in both my surgery and my main calendar. And this is super convenient in case, like I said, you have the hysterectomy calendar toggled off. Then go ahead and add any other appointments you have scheduled to the calendar. Here I'm adding my post-op appointment, and like before, I'll copy that event from my surgery calendar to my main calendar. Adding a few appointments is easy, isn't it? So now it's time to tackle the big pre and or post-op checklist you've probably received from your doctor. And if you haven't received instructions and you have a surgery on the schedule, definitely reach out to your doctor's office. Step 3 is to add details from your doctor's pre-op handout to your calendar and create lists as needed in your notebook. For this step, grab your pre-op instructions and also have your notebook or digital document handy and a pen or pencil to check off items on the list. On the pre-op instructions, you will notice some things have to be done on a certain date. Some things have to be done at a specific date and time. Some things you may need to purchase, and some items are things you need to plan and prepare for. Here's a sample of part of my instruction list, and I recommend you just go in order right down the pre-op list. This way you won't miss any details. If you have any questions or concerns about an instruction, make a note and contact your doctor if you need to. Here's an example of something I need to do by a certain date. My pre-op instructions say 4 to 6 weeks before surgery, stop smoking, exercise, and eat well. I already do all those things. They're a regular part of my life, so I don't need to add anything to my calendar. I just go ahead and check it off my pre-op list. Now, if you don't currently exercise or eat well, definitely add it to your surgery calendar. Now, here's something I'll add to my calendar on a certain date. Next up on my pre-op instructions is 2 to 3 weeks before surgery, I'm supposed to stop or limit alcohol use, stop all herb supplements, vitamins and minerals, stop all weight loss medications, stop all illegal drug use, and arrange transportation and help for at least 24 hours after discharge from the hospital. So for me, I don't drink, I don't use weight loss medications or illegal drugs. So the only thing I'll add to my surgery calendar is a reminder to stop all vitamins and supplements, which I do use. You could use this technique for any pre-op instruction that's attached to a specific date, like 2 weeks before surgery. I'll add an event to my surgery calendar 2 weeks before my surgery date, so that would be November 23rd. It says stop vitamins and supplements, and I'll create this as an all-day event with no specific time. When I view my surgery calendar on November 23rd, I'll be reminded to stop taking my vitamin D, magnesium, B12, and any other supplements I currently use. My husband is taking me to and from the hospital, so I can just check off the arrange transportation reminder and know that's already covered. Next on my list is an example of something I need to plan for. I'll add it to my Google Calendar and I'll jot down ideas in my digital notebook, and for me that's in Evernote. My pre-op instructions say 1 week before surgery, plan meals for when you get home, shop for groceries, and prepare some frozen dishes. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel more comfortable when I'm planned well in advance, so I don't want to wait until just 1 week before surgery to plan meals. I only have 4 weeks to go until my surgery, and I want to start on this ASAP. So here's how I'll use Google Calendar to tackle this instruction. I'll add an event 3 weeks before my surgery date saying, plan meals, create shopping list. I want to give myself enough time to leisurely plan meals, so I'll create that event for the entire week. I'll see it every single day when I check my calendar. Now I'll go over to Evernote, and in my surgery notebook, I'll create a heading called Meal Planning. I have a few ideas now, so I'll go ahead and add them to my notebook. I'll see this meal planning list every single time I open up my surgery notes. And remember, you can do the exact same thing in a notes app or in a paper notebook if you prefer. I'll also see the reminder to meal plan on Google Calendar for an entire week. If for some reason I don't have the meal planning completed in 1 week, I can always extend the dates. One more example, and that's a pre-op instruction that occurs on a specific day and a specific time. On the day of my surgery, I'm instructed to drink Gatorade 2 to 3 hours before surgery and to take Tylenol and ibuprofen. This is something very important that has to be done on the surgery date at a specific time. I don't have my check-in time yet, so here's how I'll handle it. I'll create an event on my surgery day to drink Gatorade, take Tylenol, and ibuprofen. Now, I don't have my surgery time yet, so I'm just gonna make this an all-day event. I'll also create an event the day before as a reminder to check the time for the Gatorade. So by that time, I will know my surgery time. If surgery is at 11, I'll set the time for the drink Gatorade event to 8 a.m. It's a little confusing because I don't have the exact time, but I hope it makes sense. I have 2 reminders to do this one thing, to drink the Gatorade and take the Tylenol. If you have something like drinking Gatorade before the surgery and you know your surgery time, obviously add that to the correct time on your calendar. I'll also go into my surgery note in Evernote and add Gatorade, ibuprofen, and Tylenol to my to-buy list. As you're adding events to your calendar, think about items that are super critical, like me drinking the Gatorade at a certain time. Make sure you also set an alarm on your phone to remember critical details. I know that you can get notifications from Google Calendar, but for something super important, I wouldn't just chance it. I would go ahead and set an alarm on my phone. Hopefully you understand the process by now. You're going through your doctor's instructions item by item and adding them to your Google Calendar or your notebook and setting phone alarms if needed. So now let's look a little more closely at the whole notebook concept and how I'm using it to plan for my upcoming hysterectomy. Step 4 is to use your digital or paper notebook to brainstorm things you need to do to prepare for your surgery and while you recover. As you go through your pre and post-op instructions, you'll discover things to buy, supplies to gather, meals to plan, and questions you may have to ask your doctor. So create a separate page if you're using a physical notebook, or you can just add a heading in a digital notebook like I'm showing you here. So this is my hysterectomy notebook in Evernote. I have headings for to buy, for dog care, things to do, meal planning, as we already talked about, items to gather, fun things to do while recovering. And I'm adding to that list every single day. So make sure you review your notebook every day and add items as you think of them, cross them off when you complete them so you'll feel very prepared for your upcoming surgery. And step 5, the final step, is to check your surgery calendar and your notebook every single day to be sure you're doing the things that you planned. This is where having the surgery calendar as a separate Google Calendar comes in handy because it can create a lot of visual clutter when you're viewing this and all your other calendars every day. So each morning when I sit down to plan my day, I toggle the surgery calendar on and the other calendars off. So I know exactly what things I need to do or stop doing or purchase or collect. When those things are done, I toggle the surgery calendar off until the next day and then turn my other calendars back on. And I pull up my little surgery notebook to go through the list of things that I need to do and buy and purchase and see how I'm coming along to do those things. As I walk through my calendar, I think you can kind of see how I added some of those little tasks to the calendar, and sometimes I added them as an all-day event and other times I added them to a specific time, which can always be moved around. A hysterectomy or other elective surgery is a life-changing event that requires lots of planning and preparation. Using Google Calendar to manage the details is one way to feel prepared before surgery, and hopefully it will alleviate some stress around your upcoming procedure. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel for more planning content. Wishing you good health.